Might be a little bit hard to see in this light, but a lot of the buildings at this RV park are pretty damaged or destroyed. It's a huge pile of debris here. And then walking in, there's a lot of houses that have like red X's on them and stuff. And the guy who owns this place was telling me they had a tornado come in here during Hurricane Milton. It went straight down. You can see the trees are kind of messed up. Destroyed a lot of buildings. Took out the power. Came across the lake from Clewiston, and so it looks a little bit beat up. You see the front sign is kind of missing, but it has everything you need. So that RV park didn't feel quite as nice as the Crooked Hook one. Bathrooms were a lot smaller, showers were a lot smaller, they didn't have the adjustable handheld nozzle or whatever. I didn't see a laundry facility, so I'm not sure if they have one or not. The tenting area wasn't as large. Outlets and stuff were not like directly next to it. So the one thing that place has that the other one didn't is they let you sleep in the gazebo. So last night was the first time on trail that it's rained. So it was nice to be able to sleep inside and not have to deal with that. The other good thing about the gazebo is it has a lot of places to sit. There's a lot of benches. There's a couple of like end tables to put stuff, as well as like a big table. It's kind of spread out your gear, get organized. It's just nice to always have somewhere off the ground to be able to sit and cook and do what you got to do. And then having that outlet, even though it was kind of high up and a little awkward to charge and use at the same time, having the outlet inside there was also just super convenient. Also, the entire gazebo is screened in with bug netting, so you don't have to worry about mosquitoes. There was like a couple of gaps where it came loose from the siding, but it was like 95% like mosquito netted, and I didn't have any issues with it, so it was another good feature to have. A couple of good things to have on this trail specifically would be those pack towels that you like add water and they expand, because a lot of these RV parks don't really have towels that they can give you. So I've just been using a bandana, which is fine, but it's obviously not ideal. So I would recommend those little pack towels. If you don't have any, you could try to get some from the church on the Seminole Reservation. At least this year they gave out these little goodie bags, and every one of those had one of those towels in it. But a lot of people were just leaving them behind in the hiker box. So it's worth checking the hiker box, or just asking the pastor or some of the people that work there if they have any. And just carry them in your pack for the rest of the trail. Also, some kind of bar soap or liquid soap would be better than hand sanitizer, just because in the same way these places don't necessarily provide you with soap. So if you're taking a shower, it's nice to have obviously something to get clean with. So I carry just a bar of soap because it's easy to replace. You know, if you go to a hotel or something, you can just ask for a free bar of soap, and you can always cut it down to make it smaller if you don't need to carry the whole thing. And then also some kind of shower shoes. It's kind of going to be personal opinion here, but you know, you're basically sharing a community shower at an RV park. So if you're fine standing directly in that stuff, then I guess you don't need them. I just so happen to have a pair of Crocs that I found at the church and I've been wearing as my hiking shoe for now. So I use those, but I realize Crocs are pretty heavy for just carrying as a camp or shower shoe, so I would say just buy some of those like $1 flip-flops from Dollar General or something, just so you have something to keep you off of the potentially dirty shower floors. Another thing about this trail is it doesn't really have hostels, but it has a lot of RV parks just because people like to come to Florida for the winter. So the RV parks to me are kind of like a hostel. They have pretty much all the amenities. You can tent camp, not at all of them, but at enough of them. And then they have shower, they have laundry, and then some of them are like close enough, like they're not going to sell you food or like make you a breakfast or anything, but they're close enough like walking into or out of them that you can either get like a pizza delivered, or you could stop at a gas station or a restaurant or something on the way to it and like, you know, pack something in or whatever. So there's not really a lot of hotels or motels, and because it's like these really small communities that just have, you know, it's like just RV parks, so they don't have a lot of infrastructure for that kind of stuff. And if they do, they're like these really small, kind of run down old motels that you probably can't even get a room for because it's hunting season and the hunters or the fishers have already reserved them, or the locals or whoever. So I wouldn't really count on a lot of hotels or motels unless you're going to like a big city like Lewiston. There's a lot of hotels in that place. Okeechobee has several. You know, obviously Orlando area is going to have a lot, but just kind of your regular trail towns that you're going to go close to are very, very small. So I'm going to be on this road walk for several miles. It's kind of one of those situations where if you wanted to get back on the trail without skipping anything, you have to backtrack like a mile and a half and then cross back across the road. You kind of look through there, you can kind of see the dike. So it's just not that far off, but I figured I might as well just not backtrack and stay on this instead of doing extra miles. So here's my PSA. This road is obviously not extremely busy. You can hardly see a car, but it's busy enough that it's annoying to walk next to. It takes 1/10 of a calories worth of effort for you to turn your steering wheel 3 degrees in order to drive in this lane that nobody's in and go around me, or to put half a PSI of pressure on your brake to slow down 10, 15, or 20 miles an hour below the speed limit. It's not that hard to do, and it's really appreciated knowing I'm not going to die by getting clipped by your mirror or by you not paying attention and just running me over. So if you see somebody on the road, slow down or move over. We appreciate it. So I got 9 more miles of this road walk until I finally get off this Lake Okeechobee section. Normally I would walk on that side, but you're stuck between a guardrail and the shoulder is like 2 feet wide. This side has a wider shoulder, but you can't see the traffic coming. So you can walk in the grass like I'm doing, but it's sloped. So it's slower and harder to walk. So this is definitely gonna suck if it's 9 miles of this. Well, my grassy shoulder is down in there now, so it's disappeared. And now I'm stuck between this guardrail. This shoulder's still bigger than the other one, so I'm staying over here, but this is a pretty terrible road walk. It does open back up into this grassy shoulder for most of the way into the Dollar General, but it is slanted most of the time and hard to walk on. It's definitely cleared up. It's started out kind of overcast and dreary, and now it's hot and clear. So that guy right there on the golf cart just gave me a little 1 or 2 mile ride. Didn't ask for it, but he saw me walking and stopped, and I figured why not. So pretty much as soon as I left the Dollar General, I walked maybe a couple of minutes and a guy pulled up on a golf cart, which a lot of these people at RV parks have and use just to get groceries and stuff. Pulled up and basically said, "Hey, do you want to ride?" He's going down basically to the bridge where the trail splits. And I said, sure. Because I'd been road walking this all day and was not enjoying it. And I figured, at this point, I don't really care that I'm skipping the trail because I'm not even on the trail. So I took the ride. He dropped me off at the drop-off point, and I have to cross the Kissimmee River Bridge, and it's a very narrow, there's almost no shoulder. It's a long bridge, and you can't even see the other side because it kind of arches. And I'm kind of standing there trying to wait for a gap in the traffic to get over this thing, and a lady just stops right at the entrance, at the beginning of the bridge next to me, and asked me if I want to ride. Literally 30 seconds after I just got out of that golf cart. And I said, sure. At first I told her, hey, can you just get me across the bridge? Because it was a long bridge. You'd have to run it, and I don't know that I could run it. So anyway, she's like, well, where are you going? Because I'll take you wherever you need to go. And I was like, well, if you can take me to Okeechobee, I'd like to go there because I could use a new pair of shoes. She said, yeah, sure, wherever you want to go. She was just going down to the lake. She's like a, 70, 80-year-old woman, and she didn't have anywhere to go. So she took me straight to the Hibbett Sports Store, dropped me off, and which was nice because I was trying to contact Trail Angels while I was at the Dollar General and was having a hard time finding people to be able to shuttle me up there. And she dropped me right off at the store. Went in there, bought my shoes, and walked back to the Flamingo Motel, and they had a room. So and I kind of told myself, if they have a room available, I'll stay and get a hotel. If they don't have a room available, then I'm going to go back on trail. The crazy thing was, she didn't even know what the Florida Trail was, a hiker was. I don't know if she just thought I was homeless or if I was running away from home, or, she just saw somebody and thought they could use some help. Yeah, she was just really sweet, and it's kind of the first 2 real instances of trail magic back to back. So I stopped at the Hibbett Sports Store in Okeechobee to obviously buy some new shoes because I was talking to somebody else ahead of me, and she was saying that her feet don't get sore from walking on the roads all day. And I'm thinking that because these are made of plastic, essentially there's not a lot of cushion and all the pressure goes straight to my feet. So I got some walking shoes instead of trail runners or like running shoes, and these were on sale. So these were 54 bucks, and there's some kind of Under Armour Infinite Pro. So I'm hoping that these will keep my feet from getting sore, as well as maybe prevent some blisters, because I've had one on the bottom of my foot for a while that doesn't want to go away. So before I totally destroy this room, just give you a quick glance at it. This is the Flamingo Motel. It's pretty close to where, if you're doing the Okeechobee East Loop, you can get off and it's only like maybe a mile or so up the road. If you're doing Okeechobee West, it's about 4 miles from the like turnoff due to the Kissimmee River. So you got 2 chairs. This is the king room, and you have like a dresser, TV, fridge, microwave, AC, and then this is a shower, which is pretty nice. It's like clean. I'm about to jump in it, so I'm assuming it's gonna be hot, but it was $100. So especially if you split it with somebody else, this is a pretty good deal. The McDonald's is right across the street from the hotel, so halftime meal is, I think these are basically 2 double cheeseburgers, spicy McCrispy, apple pie. Tonight's dinner.
Andy Reid and company are moving on.